Why intuitive empathic people like us need to stop obsessing about narcissism and narcissists. Hi, my name is Leah Chantel. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm talking about why it's important to not obsess about narcissists and narcissism. When I first learned this concept, first of all, I'll define what a narcissist is. And there are many different variations of them. It can go quite in depth. But it's basically a person who is not really giving you what you deserve in your relationship. And you're giving a lot to them and they're very demanding about what they need, and they're not very willing to give you praise or time or resources, but they demand a lot of you and expect a lot of you. I think that's a basic definition of a narcissist. When I first started learning who they were and what kind of attributes they had, it was very fascinating because I realized in my life I had encountered a few people like this and I just didn't understand their behavior from my perspective as an intuitive empath. It blew my mind, like, why would someone behave this way? And then when I learned about narcissism, I went, oh, it makes sense. So to a certain extent, knowing what narcissism is can be helpful to a certain extent, but we can become too obsessed. Like, think about when you have a medical illness. To a certain extent, some information about the illness is helpful, but you can become obsessive and over consume the content about your medical illness and start obsessing about it getting worse. And what if this happens? And what if I'm not getting the right treatment? And you can kind of drive yourself crazy by over consuming content on your medical illness and studying too much about it and falling down a rabbit hole on the internet. And it's the same with narcissism. To some extent, it's helpful to know what it is and to know what narcissists look like in your life and what are the right strategies to deal with them. But after a certain point, you need to let that go in order to have healthy relationships. Because when you do encounter a beautiful person and you build a healthy relationship with them, ideally, you want to operate from unconditional love. Now, that can be challenging because we need to set boundaries, and some people really prioritize their need of uncertainty more than their need of certainty in relationships. And when we offer a lot of unconditional love, ironically, sometimes it drives some people away, depending on what their personality type is like. But there should be a good dose of love between people in a healthy relationship. And there could be caveats and complexities to that. But overall, your relationships that are close should give you the vibration of love and understanding and happiness. If it doesn't have that signature, then it's probably not the right relationship for you. And if we become too obsessed and paranoid about who is a narcissist, then it becomes more and more difficult to access that feminine loving side of yourself because you're too worried about being on the defensive and thinking that somebody is going to come into your life to potentially attack you or hurt you. Like, if you think about dating, for example, if you're too paranoid that every single person you date is a narcissist, you're never going to be able to trust or allow anybody new into your life. And I've seen some people online who talk about dating really obsess over the little details of, you have to get this right and you have to get that right to make sure the relationship is healthy. And it's probably good advice, but I've noticed that they never get into any relationships because they have so many rules and strategies, and they pick apart every single person because they have a suspicious mind that it makes it very difficult for them to have a healthy relationship. And I think part of having healthy relationships means you have to let go at some point of some of these things that you're worried about, including obsessing about who is a narcissist. If it's clear enough that you're with a good person, then it's time to stop checking for the narcissistic habits. I mean, sometimes we do need to update our beliefs and our relationships with people. They can evolve and they can change. Like, for example, I've heard about a really happy Christian couple who 5 years in their marriage, the husband suddenly got addicted to cocaine. Somebody exposed it to him. And then his personality changed and became very abusive in a very short period of time. So there are rare situations where somebody who was previously loving can transform into a terrible person. I mean, it's really sad. It doesn't happen that often, but it can happen. So it's good to reevaluate your relationships over time just to make sure they're still loving and they're still offering the same support that they once did. Having said that, I think we need to let go of a lot of our suspicions and negative expectations in our relationships in order to really enjoy our relationships and feel the love and the joy and have compassion for the other person. Be willing to give first sometimes. I mean, some people don't enjoy that in their relationships, so you want to be aware and make sure that type of person is enjoying the type of giving that you're providing for that person. But having said that, you shouldn't be afraid of giving because you suspect the other person's really going to stab you in the back. It's good to be discerning and build trust over time. You don't want to give too much away too quickly. That is true. Having said that, you don't want to become so scared that you're not willing to give anything at all. And when we obsess about narcissism and narcissists, it puts us into a very paranoid state of mind. It's said that when we have a negative thought, it can take 6 positive thoughts to overcome the negative one. And so if we're constantly suspicious, constantly thinking about the past in our failed relationships with people who maybe were a little bit selfish, but we have resentments and we can't let go of those things, how are we supposed to be happy with a new person? You have to put down your baggage in order to create that happiness with the new person. And you have to find joy in yourself and in your own life as well. If you don't have joy in your own life, and beautiful friendships and relationships that really sustain you in your life, then how are you supposed to create love and share love with another person? You don't have it to give if you haven't built it for yourself. And so again, reading about things like narcissism and narcissists can eat up your valuable time for things you need to do for your self-love and your self-care, or time you need to engage with meeting new people if you're looking for that new partner. To a certain extent, you have to commit time where you're taking a risk and getting to know new people. And a lot of those new people may not turn out to be somebody who's a good fit for you. But having said that, if you're not willing to open yourself up and try at all because you're too suspicious of people, then you're never going to find that person who is right for you. And so that's why it's so important when we learn about boundaries and we learn about discernment and wisdom and when to walk away, when to ignore negative comments. These skills are so critical, so important. And yet we don't want to be the person who's looking for the negative comment or looking for the drama or looking for the test from the other person. Like, when is this person gonna test me and see if I'm going to get angry or upset by what they say? Because if you're looking for the fight, and you're preempting for it, you're probably going to find it. But if you're looking for the love in the first place, and you're not looking for that conflict, you'll probably find that as well. So lead with love. Let go of your resentments from the past and enjoy your relationships. Enjoy your hobbies. Be feminine. Enjoy the things that give you pleasure. In healthy amounts. Even chocolate can really open you up in a good amount that's healthy and safe to enjoy. But there's nothing wrong with enjoying the sensual side of life and fully taking in all of the pleasurable experiences that are available to you in healthy amounts. It's just that when we turn our pleasures into addictions and they become coping mechanisms to get through the day, that's when they become a problem. But if we're being spontaneous and joyful in the moment, we can enjoy anything really in a small amount and not get attached. But yeah, be careful. Some things are more addictive than others, and it's not worth the risk to get mixed up in that. I hope you're all having an amazing Valentine's Day, and I hope you enjoyed my video about why we have to let go of narcissism and narcissists. We're all human, so at some point we may have been touched by another person who is a narcissist, either physically or figuratively speaking. And if that's happened, that's extremely hard, and it can take time to recover, and it's okay to grieve and do your recovery process if that's happened. Having said that, at some point, we need to let go and stop worrying and stop being suspicious. Yes, do build trust, be wise, take your time and get to know people and build your relationship based on their actions, not based on promises or, like pretty vacations or things that they buy you. Wait for them to really take action and show you how much they love you. And then you have something real that you can really build a relationship on. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please hit subscribe. And if you're looking for more advice on self-love, I have a group called Leah's Self-Love on Facebook. And you can join that too if you want to get more tailored advice on self-love and taking good care of yourself. And even if you don't have a partner this Valentine's Day, do something like give yourself a hot bubble bath to take really good care of yourself, and then it will be a really enjoyable day for you. I hope you all have a lovely Valentine's Day and take care. Bye now.